Hello everyone, my name is Joram the Closer. I hope you are doing fine. I just wanted to do a short video for reps out there, for or telesales agent out there. Hello everyone, my name is Joram the Closer. I just wanted to do a short video for reps out there, telesales agent out there, those of us who are in business and are struggling with objections. Objections, there are various types of objections that you normally encounter in your day-to-day selling life. You're trying to convert clients, but they tell you I'm not interested. They tell you I'm going to consult my wife. They tell you call me back later. They tell you I'm going to think about it. All sorts of objections. And let me tell you something. There are only 5 objections. 5 objections. All objections that they will say revolve on these 5 objections. Not interested. I'll call you back later. I'm going to consult my wife. It's too expensive. I'm looking around or I don't have the budget. 5 objections. And most reps are struggling with this silently. And it's sad, organizations they work for don't train them on this. There's just no way you can have 50 sales reps or 50 telesales agents and only 10 out of 50 hit their targets. No way. Something is wrong. There's a problem somewhere. And that problem is training. They are not, of course, most organizations have training programs. And what I've realized from the research I've done, the training programs they have only focus on the product knowledge and the benefits they have. They don't train their reps, they don't train their agents on how to answer these objections when they are brought forth by the prospect. When a rep approaches a prospect, then the prospect tells them, I'm not interested. They back off. They say, okay, fine. I want to give you lines that you can use to handle these objections. Lines that you can use to handle these objections. We call them proofs. You see the jacket I put on? This is like a bulletproof. So this bulletproof, the bullets can slide on it. So each and every objection you receive, they slide off by having the correct techniques to go over them and close your sale. That is what is important. When a prospect tells you, I'm not interested, how do you go about it? This is the way you can answer it. When a prospect tells you, I'm not interested, simply say, Mr. Prospect, most of the time the clients we had were not at first interested in our product or service. What exactly in our product or service you're not interested in? Is this the quality of our services? Maybe that can let us improve on our services so that in future you can consider our service. You see, the prospect told me he's not interested, but I want to gather more information so that I can be in a position, as much as he's not interested, I can be in a position to look at one of the benefits we have that can suit him or her. And then they'll say you are too expensive, for example. When they say you are too expensive, you see, that's another objection they bring forth. You're too expensive. This is how to answer that. Simply tell the prospect, I guess what you're really saying is how we can fit this in your budget. Is that correct? You see, I've slide off another objections that they bring forth. I guess what you're really asking is how we can fit this in your budget. Then you can sell the prospect through your installments, if you have installments, or the payment plan. The payment plan you have. Sell the prospect through the payment plans you have. You've knocked down 2 objections. Then when the prospect says, I'm going to consult my wife, you've taken him or her through the payment plan. He says, I'm still going to consult my wife, or I'm going to consult my colleague. How do you go about that? Simply answer by telling the prospect, fine, Mr. John, I know matters important like this, you have to consult whoever they're going to consult, that is. I know you have to consult, but are you in a position to call them so that I can answer any concerns they might raise in regards to this product or service? Are you in a position to call them right now? Well, they can say yes, no, I'm not in a position to call them, or yes, I can call them. If they call them, well and good. You can proceed to close the sale. And when they say, I'm not in a position to call them right now, or maybe they are busy, then you can set up a date with them. Say, let's set up a date so that maybe in the next 1 week or so, we sit down together and address their concerns. How about that? You see, now I've knocked down another 3rd objection. We'll either set up a date, or they'll call the person they wanted to consult. Then we can move ahead. Here is another objection. Here's another objection. We've knocked down 3 objections. Another objections we have, they'll say, I'm going to think about it. I'm going to think about it. This is how you can handle that. I'm going to think about it. Wow, I love this objection. Most prospects, when they say I want to think about it, I love this. This is one of the objections I love so much. I simply ask them, well, Mr. John, or whichever name, make sure you call the prospect with their names. Master their names. What is important in sale? Make them, engage them, make them feel at home. Ensure that there is no pressure between you and the prospects when you're doing your presentation. That is very important. Very, very important. Make them feel at home. These days, selling these days is easy and tricky, and most reps don't know this. Ensure that when you're engaging your prospect, he feels he's talking to a sister, he's talking to a brother, he's talking to an uncle. Let it feel like a family. That's when you are going to create enough emotion. You build enough emotions, because selling is emotional. After building emotions to the right degree, that is the point a prospect will buy. So by ensuring that these objections brush off your bulletproof, and you have enough emotions created, built up, you're going to close the sale. Let's go to this other objection that I wanted to take you through. I want to think about it. Simply ask the prospect, well, Mr. John, what exactly do you want to think about? Or, I guess what you're really asking, John, is you don't see the importance of moving ahead. You don't see the importance of moving ahead with this product or service right now. Is that correct? I guess what you're really asking is the importance of moving with this product or service right now. Is that correct? You see, you've knocked another objection down. As easy as that. These are what reps are supposed to be taught. Well, being taught about the product knowledge on and on is not bad. But being taught about objections, how to knock these objections. This is the number one skill I learned, and my sales changed. My numbers changed. I earned every money I wanted. I hit my target. I surpassed my target. Each and every month, because I know how to handle these objections. Do you know why those lovers of football? Do you know why Barcelona was the best team in Spain and UEFA Champions League? Because they have particular techniques how they play their games. When they see the defensive is tightly packed, the defense of their opponent is tightly packed, they change their tactic, they change their technique, they pull them back, and then they counter, they pull them back and counter, or they tell Lionel Messi to hold the ball for them, and then they send a striker to score. It's the same thing. All these techniques works together. I'm not saying having knowledge on having product knowledge is bad, but I'm saying you must combine it. You must blend it with answering objections. When you blend it with answering objections, you'll get everything right. You'll get, your numbers will change. I guarantee you, your numbers will change. Take these techniques, practice them. Have one-on-one and ensure that you don't practice with your clients. Don't practice with your prospects. Have role plays. Have a friend, have a colleague you're working with. Have role plays. And then when you approach a prospect, you'll have that confidence to go through all the objections they raise. And you get down to closing the sale. And how do you close? There are two critical points of closing a sale. After answering these objections, there are two critical points of closing a sale. After answering an objection and after responding to a question. You should take notes. After answering an objection and after answering a question. Very, very important. Ensure after you answer each and every question they raise, you ask them for the sale. And how do you ask them for the sale? Don't be pushy. Just say, Mr. John, have we solved that out? With sentences like that. Do you now feel comfortable? Can we now proceed with the sale? Can we now proceed with the paperwork? Or when they say, yes, I'm now okay, you dive into the close. You say, this is how we get started. You take the paperwork, you ask them on their middle name. John, what's your middle name? Okay, or what's your middle initial? You see, and you get closing, You can use alternative close like, John, do you want to use cash or you want to use checks to pay for this product or service? That's how you're supposed to go about objection. I guarantee you, your numbers will start going up. It will change when you start mastering this objection and you practice them and use them on a day-to-day. Another key to increase your commission or your revenue, you ensure you increase, you fill your pipeline. The first point, combine the product knowledge with answering objection techniques. After you master that, you must add up another ingredient, and that is filling up your pipeline. Ensure if you're a rep, you go out there looking for clients, you meet clients one-on-one. Ensure you meet at least 10 clients on a daily basis. At least 10. Talk to 10. And when your number doesn't change, increase it to 20. Each and every day, one-on-one. You'll realize that at the end of the month, you met 100 plus prospects. What does that mean to you? And you know how to handle objections? You can't miss your numbers. You can't miss your target. You can't. Never. It can never happen. So first thing first, get in touch with Closers World. We can train you. We can give you one-on-one training. We can do follow-up for you. We can assist you come up with a script. Perfect script. Tailored script for your product or service. We can train your company and ensure your revenue goes up. And we'll have another session for following up. How do you do your follow-ups? That's also key. After meeting the prospect for the first time, you want to schedule a follow-up call. How do you do that? We'll teach you how to go about all these scripts. I wanted just to handle the objection part today, and you can share this with reps, you can share this with telesales agent, you can share this with your CEOs, your training managers, so that they can get in touch with me and tell them how they can put a bulletproof for their sales agent. So that when those objections come, bulletproof, they just brush off and you close more sales, you close more deals, and you go home happy, your company is happy, and everybody is happy. Thank you for your time. Happy selling.